You might think all vegetables are good for you, but what if I told you that a few of them, the ones sitting quietly in your fridge right now, could actually be speeding up aging, raising your blood pressure, and messing with your memory? Yep, even the healthy ones. According to research published in the Journal of Gerontology, eating the wrong vegetables can raise your risk of chronic disease by up to 37% after age 65. That's no small matter when your body deserves all the help it can get. But don't worry, I've got your back. In this video, I'll walk you through 4 vegetables seniors should never touch again, and 4 powerful ones you should absolutely choose instead. For your heart, your brain, and your beautiful longevity. And trust me, the most dangerous veggie of all? It's probably sitting on your dinner plate right now. Before we dive in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, so you never miss a health tip designed just for you. If you enjoy this topic, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. I'm here to learn and grow with you. 4 types of vegetables people over 65 should avoid. 1. Eggplant. Let me tell you something that most folks don't realize until it's too late. Eggplant. Yes, that smooth, deep purple vegetable you've probably baked or tossed into a stew for years can be a silent aggravator of joint pain. At first glance, it seems harmless. In fact, it looks like it should be good for you. But for many seniors, especially those over 65, this innocent-looking food may be doing more harm than good behind the scenes. You see, eggplant belongs to a family of vegetables known as nightshades. These include tomatoes, peppers, and white potatoes too. Inside them is a natural chemical called solanine. It's not dangerous in small doses, but it has a sneaky way of making things worse if your body is already dealing with inflammation, especially in your joints. Think of solanine like a splinter in your knee, small but enough to keep the ache alive. In people with arthritis, back pain, or muscle stiffness, solanine can quietly irritate the nerves and tissues, making you feel like your body just won't loosen up in the mornings anymore. And the tricky part? It doesn't hit everyone the same way. Some folks can eat it for years without a problem. But for others, especially those with more delicate systems or slower recovery, the damage shows up quietly. Morning stiffness that won't let go, swelling that creeps up after dinner, or that dull, dragging ache that just won't quit no matter how many pain relievers you take. When you're younger, your body could fight back easily, but after 65, the healing slows, and the price of each bite becomes more noticeable. To make matters worse, eggplant is often fried or overcooked, which soaks up oil and strips away what little fiber it has left. The result? More calories, harder digestion, and another hit to your already tired system. I've seen patients frustrated because their medications stop working, or they blame their age for the extra stiffness, when really, it was sitting right there on the plate. Here's something interesting. Solanine was originally studied because it acts like a natural pesticide for the plant. So in a way, when you're eating it, your body might be fighting off what the plant itself was trying to defend against. So if your joints feel like they're betraying you lately, don't just look at age. Look at your vegetables. Because next, we're going to talk about another healthy food that might be quietly disrupting your gut and thyroid. And yes, it's hiding in almost every salad bowl. Let's move on. 2. Raw cabbage. Now let's turn our attention to a vegetable that's often praised for being clean, light, and full of fiber. Raw cabbage. It shows up in salads, coleslaws, wraps, and trendy juice cleanses, looking like the perfect food for healthy aging. But I've learned through decades of caring for older adults that what looks healthy on the surface isn't always kind to a senior's body. For those of us over 65, raw cabbage can quietly become a burden, especially on 2 critical systems, the thyroid and the gut. You see, cabbage contains something called goitrogens. Don't let the name scare you. It simply refers to a group of natural substances that can interfere with how your thyroid absorbs iodine. Iodine is what keeps your thyroid humming along, and the thyroid, in turn, is what helps regulate energy, mood, metabolism, and even how well you sleep. If the thyroid slows down, everything slows down. You start gaining weight without eating more. Your energy fades, your thinking becomes foggy, and even your emotions dip lower than usual. Sadly, most seniors assume it's just aging. But sometimes it's something as simple as the daily raw cabbage you thought was helping. Now let's add in another complication. As we age, digestion becomes more sensitive. The fiber in raw cabbage is insoluble, meaning it doesn't dissolve and it's tough on an older digestive tract. It can sit in your gut like a wet towel stuffed into a narrow pipe. Bloating, gas, cramping, and that sluggish, uncomfortable feeling can follow. I've had many patients tell me they feel heavy after lunch or that their stomach is always unsettled. And when we look into what they're eating, raw cabbage is often part of the routine. But here's the good news. You don't have to say goodbye to cabbage. Lightly steaming or sautéing it helps break down those tough fibers and reduces the goitrogens. Your body gets the benefits, vitamins, antioxidants, and fiber, without paying the price. Here's an interesting fact. In parts of Eastern Europe, where people eat fermented or cooked cabbage instead of raw, thyroid problems are less common in older adults. Preparation truly makes a difference. Now, if cabbage surprised you, just wait until we talk about corn. Sweet, sunny, and familiar, but it may be silently spiking your blood sugar and stealing your energy. Let's explore that next. 3. Corn. Corn is one of those foods that wraps itself in warmth and nostalgia. For many of us, it brings back memories of backyard barbecues, family holidays, and buttery comfort. But for older adults, especially those managing diabetes or struggling with energy dips, corn may be doing more harm than we think. It's a sweet comfort, yes, but one that often comes at a hidden cost. The truth is, corn isn't really a vegetable in the way most people imagine. Nutritionally, it behaves more like a starch, closer to white bread than broccoli. When we're young, our bodies are more forgiving. We can eat a corn cob or a bowl of chowder and bounce back. But after 65, our insulin response weakens, and our ability to handle sugar becomes slower, more fragile. This is why nearly half of older adults live with prediabetes, often without even knowing it. For someone in that position, eating corn is like tossing dry wood onto a smoldering fire. It flares up quickly. Blood sugar spikes high, then crashes, leaving you tired, foggy, and craving more. Another problem is that most corn today is genetically modified and nutritionally stripped down. It's high in carbs, low in fiber, and often processed with added sugars or turned into snacks that make matters worse. Even that warm slice of cornbread, if eaten regularly, can quietly wear down your metabolism, increasing your risk of insulin resistance, weight gain, and fatigue that's hard to shake. What's most dangerous is how safe corn seems. It's on every table, served with love, and rarely questioned. But when something sweet feels harmless, it's even easier to overdo it. And when we do, we unknowingly edge closer to the diseases we're trying so hard to avoid. Now, if you think corn is bad, wait until you hear what might be hiding in bamboo shoots. Beneath that satisfying crunch lies a toxin that can quietly harm your kidneys and nervous system. Let's look deeper. 4. Bamboo shoots. Here's an interesting fact you might not have heard. Bamboo, the same plant used to build furniture and flooring, can also release cyanide when eaten the wrong way. Now imagine putting that on your dinner plate. Bamboo shoots, often praised for their tender crunch and subtle flavor, have made their way into many stir-fries, soups, and stews. But for seniors, especially those over 65, this delicate ingredient may be doing far more damage than anyone realizes. You see, inside those innocent-looking shoots are natural chemicals called cyanogenic glycosides. It sounds complex, but in simple terms, your body can turn these compounds into cyanide, a known poison, if the bamboo shoots aren't cooked properly. Most people won't feel the effects immediately. But if you're eating these regularly, or if they've been undercooked, small traces of cyanide can quietly start building up in your system. And for older adults, whose detox systems have slowed with age, this creates a silent, slow-moving strain. It's not dramatic. You won't collapse at the dinner table. But you may notice fatigue that lingers, a strange tingling in your hands or feet, or digestive problems that just won't settle. These can be signs your liver, kidneys, or nervous system are under stress, fighting to flush out what shouldn't be there. There's more. Bamboo shoots are also high in something called oxalates. These little troublemakers bind to calcium in your gut. The calcium that should be going to your bones, it gets trapped and flushed out instead. And worse yet, oxalates can contribute to kidney stones, a painful, all too common issue in older adults. When our bones are thinning and every bit of calcium matters, losing it to a poorly chosen vegetable is a cost we shouldn't be paying. I've seen patients suffer for years with mysterious fatigue or recurring stones, only to find that something as simple as their love for Asian-style soups was adding to the problem. Unless you're absolutely certain the bamboo has been fully cooked and rinsed multiple times, it's safer to avoid it. There are better choices. And speaking of better choices, nature doesn't just give us foods to avoid. She also gives us powerful allies in the fight against aging. Let's take a look now at 4 vegetables every senior should be embracing to restore strength, clarity, and vitality. 4 vegetables you should eat every week if you're over 65. 1. Broccoli. Did you know your body has its own cleanup crew? Tiny enzymes that sweep away toxins, repair cells, and fight off age from the inside out? But like an old house left unattended, that system slows down with time. The question is, can we wake it back up? That's where broccoli steps in, not just as a vegetable, but as a kind of internal security guard for your aging cells. I like to call it the green guardian. Not because of how it looks on the plate, but because of what it does when it gets inside your body. Hidden inside those tiny green florets is a compound called sulforaphane, and it's one of nature's most powerful defenders against what we call oxidative stress. The slow, invisible rusting of your cells that speeds up aging, drains your energy, and weakens your defenses. But sulforaphane is just the beginning. Broccoli is also packed with vitamin K, which helps protect your bones from fractures, vitamin C, which supports healing and immune strength, and fiber, which gently keeps your digestion on track, something we all appreciate more with age. Unlike trendy powders or overpriced supplements, broccoli doesn't make a fuss. You don't need to juice it, blend it, or take it in a pill. Just steam it lightly, don't overcook it, and let it do what it was designed to do. Help your body heal and defend itself from within. So when you see broccoli next time, don't see a boring side dish. See a shield, a protector, a quiet warrior for your body's long-term health. And if broccoli is the body's quiet defender, the next vegetable is its golden messenger. Bright, sweet, and surprisingly powerful for your eyes, mood, and immune system. Let's talk about the timeless gift of carrots. 2. Carrots. There's a quiet brilliance hiding in every carrot, and for those of us in our golden years, it's more than just a colorful addition to the plate. It's a root of resilience, one that nourishes not just the eyes, but the clarity of the mind and the calm of the spirit. Carrots might look simple, but they carry within them a kind of silent power that the aging body deeply understands and welcomes. As we grow older, one of the first changes we begin to notice is in our vision. Street signs become harder to read at night. Book print seems to shrink, the eyes tire faster, and dryness becomes a daily bother. What many don't realize is that this isn't just inconvenience, it's degeneration. And this is where carrots step in with strength. They're one of the richest sources of beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A, a nutrient essential for maintaining the light-sensitive parts of the eye. Regular consumption can help slow down age-related macular degeneration, keeping the world in focus just a little longer. But the gift of carrots doesn't end with vision. Inside their bright orange flesh is an army of antioxidants, natural compounds that help reduce the silent cellular damage caused by years of stress, processed food, and environmental exposure. Inflammation builds up in the background of our lives, wearing down the immune system and dulling memory. The antioxidants in carrots, like lutein and vitamin C, help put out these quiet fires, giving our cells space to breathe, repair, and function with more ease. Another often overlooked strength of the carrot lies in its support for emotional balance. As the body ages, so does its ability to regulate neurotransmitters, those tiny messengers that affect mood, focus, and calm. The natural sweetness of carrots offers comfort without spiking blood sugar, and their contribution of B vitamins and vitamin C plays a quiet role in keeping the mind steady and emotions smooth. And they're easy to prepare. Roasted with olive oil, tossed in soup, or even enjoyed raw with a bit of hummus, carrots don't ask much. But they give a great deal. Now, if carrots light up the eyes and lift the mind, imagine what a deep green leaf like spinach can do for your blood vessels, your circulation, and your strength. Let's uncover that next. 3. Spinach. Spinach doesn't beg for attention. It doesn't sizzle in a pan like bacon or carry the sweetness of a summer peach. But for those of us past 65, this quiet little leaf holds power most people overlook. It's not just food, it's restoration, a form of care that begins deep inside the body when touching the very systems we rely on to stay strong, mobile, and mentally sharp as the years go by. What makes spinach so important for seniors isn't just one vitamin, it's the way it gives support where aging hits hardest. One of its most important roles lies in how it helps your blood vessels. Spinach is rich in natural nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. That might sound complex, but the result is simple. Your blood vessels relax, expand, and allow blood to flow more freely. That means better circulation, more oxygen reaching your brain, and steadier blood pressure. And for many older adults, that translates into fewer dizzy spells, more energy walking upstairs, and even clearer thinking in the afternoons. But the benefits don't stop at your heart. Spinach is packed with vitamin K1, a nutrient many don't talk about, yet it plays a quiet but essential role in keeping your bones strong. As we age, bones lose density. They become brittle. But K1 helps calcium do its job right, pushing it into your bones instead of letting it collect where it doesn't belong, like your arteries. Eating spinach regularly may seem small, but it can mean the difference between maintaining your independence or recovering from a painful fall. Spinach also speaks gently to the mind. Its folate content helps regulate neurotransmitters, those tiny chemical messengers that affect memory, focus, and even how we feel. When the brain is low on folate, forgetfulness creeps in, moods dip, and everything feels just a little harder. Spinach offers support here too, like a quiet friend who never needs to be asked. And let's not forget the gut. Spinach's natural fiber keeps things moving, easing the digestive issues so many of us quietly endure. No need for harsh powders or pills, just a few servings of spinach each week. You deserve health that doesn't feel like sacrifice. And believe it or not, the next vegetable brings healing wrapped in comfort. Soft, golden, and sweet, let's explore the warm nourishment of butternut squash. 4. Butternut squash. Did you know a study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults with higher beta-carotene intake had significantly better immune responses and fewer hospitalizations from infection? That's not just interesting, it's empowering. And one of the richest, gentlest sources of beta-carotene is a vegetable that feels more like comfort than medicine. Butternut squash. There's something about it that speaks softly to the soul. The warm hue, the smooth texture, the way it gently sweetens a dish without needing sugar. It brings to mind a quiet evening, a steady presence, something we long for as the pace of life slows. But behind that sense of comfort lies a healing force that's tailor-made for the aging body. As we grow older, our bones lose density, our immune systems react more slowly, and our energy no longer flows like it used to. That's the reality. Butternut squash, in its unassuming way, offers direct answers to those exact challenges. Just 1 cup delivers nearly 5 times the recommended daily amount of vitamin A. And this isn't just for eye health. Vitamin A, especially in the form of beta-carotene, helps build immune resilience, allowing the body to better defend itself against viruses and bacteria, which become far more dangerous in our later years. But its power doesn't stop there. Butternut squash also delivers key minerals, magnesium, potassium, and manganese, that work together to support bone strength and prevent fractures. And if you've ever known someone who lost their independence after a fall, you understand how crucial this is. Supplements can help, yes, but food-based nutrients are often absorbed more effectively with fewer side effects. And that's where squash shines. It's also one of the most emotionally nourishing foods a senior can eat. It's soft enough for those with dental issues, easy to digest for anyone with stomach sensitivities, and satisfying in a way that heavier meals often fail to be. Eating it becomes a kind of grounding ritual, a warm bowl on a cool evening, a steadying comfort when the world feels unpredictable. For anyone wanting to live not just longer but better, butternut squash is more than a vegetable. It's a weekly act of self-care. Now, let's step beyond food. What if your everyday habits, small, quiet ones, could slow memory loss and even rebuild the brain's aging pathways? Stay with me as we uncover these hidden brain boosters. The power of the plate. choosing vitality at every age. As we step deeper into our later years, something becomes strikingly clear. Health is no longer just a matter of genetics or chance. It's a daily decision, a quiet commitment made not in hospitals or clinics, but right at your dinner table. The vegetables on your plate aren't just about tradition or taste anymore. They've become instruments of vitality, tools that protect your memory, support your joints, fuel your energy, and guard your independence. After 65, the body begins to whisper things it never said before. A deeper fatigue in the afternoon, a lingering stiffness, a digestion that doesn't bounce back quite the same. These aren't just signs of aging, they're invitations to pay attention. Because now every bite either slows down your resilience or builds it up. Nature, in her wisdom, has always provided answers. Foods like broccoli, carrot, spinach, and pumpkin aren't passing fads. They are ancient allies, created to protect, to restore, to strengthen. But not all foods age with us gracefully. Raw cabbage, eggplant, corn, and bamboo shoots may have once served us well, but in an older body, they can disrupt the delicate balance of digestion, joint comfort, thyroid health, or even toxin clearance. And still, here's the best news. You're not at the mercy of time. You still have choices. Aging well doesn't come from extremes. It comes from small, thoughtful shifts, listening closely, choosing wisely, treating each meal as an act of self-respect. Because in the end, aging isn't something to fear. It's something to meet, strong, nourished, and awake to the life you still have left to live. Now it's your turn. What's one small change you're going to make after watching this? Will you say goodbye to eggplant? Or finally give broccoli the respect it deserves? Take a moment to reflect, then share with us in the comments. We're in this together, and your story might just inspire someone else to take that first step toward better health. If this video gave you a fresh perspective or even just made you smile, go ahead and comment 1 below. If it didn't quite hit the mark, type 0. Your honest feedback helps us grow and serve you better. And don't forget, click like, share this video with a friend who could use a veggie reality check. And most importantly, subscribe to our channel. That way, you'll never miss out on the simple, powerful tips designed just for you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Remember, aging well isn't about perfection. It's about paying attention, staying curious, and choosing what truly nourishes you. Here's to strong legs, clear minds, and full plates. Until next time, stay wise, stay well, and stay wonderfully you.